Appreciation live series here on Facebook and then later on YouTube. We are so excited to join you each day to celebrate the most wonderful profession in the world, teaching, and all of you out there that are just killing it and just making it happen for students. We appreciate you. And that's why we extended Teacher Appreciation Week to multiple weeks so we can share every day how much we love and appreciate you. So we have a very, very special guest on the show today. I'm super excited to have her on. This is Christy Whittlesey. Whittlesey?
It's Whittlesey. I always say it's like there's a big C and a Whittlesey. So now you'll never forget.
Oh, I love it. That's exactly how my niece would pronounce that. Little C. That's how she would say it. So Christy Whittlesey, we're so excited. She is the author of It's Okay to Say They. And we are just so honored to have her here and to have her as a part of our DBC Inc. family. Welcome, Christy. Please do introduce yourself much better than me and tell everybody what you do. And I'll be sure and put all those links in the site if you want to check out her book or her website, which has a crazy amount of good stuff there. So yes, welcome, Christy.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm Christy Whittlesey. I am an educator from Massachusetts. I am the pre-K to 12 Fine and Performing Arts Coordinator in Chelmsford, which is a town north of Boston. And so I supervise and work with many teachers in 6 different schools. And then I also still continue to teach grade 5 music every day. And then in addition, I, wrote It's Okay to Say They because this is also a passion project of mine to encourage educators to create safe, inclusive, and equitable learning environments for all of their students, regardless of gender.
I love it. And what that book is so marvelous. I love it. I love all of the insights. And I feel like so often it's just I think most educators want to do what's best for their students, but sometimes we just need to be educated on what is best. And that's how it was for me reading that book. It was so helpful for me just to learn more and to be able to be more aware of what I say and when I say it and how it could be perceived. So thank you for writing that book. It was so beneficial for me, as I know I'm not in the classroom any longer, but I deal with people all the time. And so it's just perfect.
I'm so glad it was helpful for you. And that's exactly why I wrote it, because I think teachers, obviously, we love our students. We want to do right by them. And sometimes people just aren't exactly sure how to approach situations that they may not have encountered before. So,
yeah. That's true. So thank you, Christy. So on the show, we have been it's a conversation. I know all of you that are watching and that have been watching, you get to see me having these conversations with all my friends. But one of the questions I love asking each of you is just, who was your favorite teacher and why? And if you can't think of just one, it's okay. You can share more than one.
Sure. Well, I have I've obviously worked with so many educators. I think from growing up, I was so lucky. I had a music teacher who made a big impact on me. Don Williams is his name, and he is a bass player, and he taught all of our music classes. And this was back when I was in elementary school in Holderness, New Hampshire, in this tiny little town. Mm-hmm. It was a K through 8 school, and he would push a piano around to each classroom because he was teaching on a cart, basically teaching on a piano. And then when I went to the high school, he ended up moving to the high school as well. So he was my music teacher all the way through until I graduated. And he just, more than what he taught me musically, I remember he just always was super supportive and would encourage me to, do things like start my first band and things like that. And so he really made an impact on me. And then I think the teachers who have changed my life the most are the teachers who will really work to lift the students up around them. The teacher that I've worked with most recently is Dr. Judy Davidson at the University of Massachusetts Lowell, who was my dissertation chair. And one thing that always touched me about her is that she would always work to lift up her students, give them extra opportunities, whether it was co-writing papers with her or presenting at conferences with her, introducing us to, leaders in the field of qualitative research and education. She just was so generous. There was never any question of like a competition or anything. It was she wanted to bring people up, and I strive to do that as well.
So true. I think I love how Liz Wiseman wrote in the book Multipliers about multipliers, and I really think of my mentors too, and those teachers that just made a difference in my life. They were just like that. They were multipliers. They like put themselves. It wasn't about them. It was always
Right.
about the student, and it was always about like pushing them forward and helping them to go and to grow and to be something more than what they already were. So I love that you brought that out about your teachers, and your music teacher obviously influenced you to teach music. You said you still teach music every day, right?
I do. I mean, he encouraged me. I was when I was in high school, I was working as a musician, instead of working in an ice cream shop or something like that, and and a lot of that was because of his encouragement. And he's still working as a musician now. I'll go out and see him locally and say hi, and it's a nice connection.
That is so cool. And it's so cool that you were a part of a band. I love these conversations just to get to know my people a little bit more too. Selfishly, that's kind of a fun part.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing about your favorite teacher. Now, thinking about some of the teachers that you work with and just characteristics that really just stand out to you, especially now in the situation that we're in right now, what are you seeing that's just like blowing your mind right now with teachers?
So the teachers in my department, I work so closely with them, so I'm super familiar with what they're doing, and I just am blown away by how they have adapted within this situation. Obviously, nobody was expecting this or was prepared for it, but so the art and music and theater teachers that I work with have really just made it work. A lot of these teachers had never really used technology before. Some were very comfortable with it, some not so much. But really, just within a couple of short weeks, everybody jumped in, cannonballed in.
Yes.
And really, there was a lot of question asking, but there was no reluctance to engage in new teaching platforms and using new tools. And when you think about the arts, there are specific challenges that the teachers are facing, and I think this is everywhere. Visual art teachers are thinking about, okay, well, how do I engage my students in art making if they don't have materials at home?
Yeah.
And so I've seen teachers just be so creative, with found objects, recycled objects for art, nature tools and things that they find outside. And they're really creating beautiful and meaningful pieces, and just being super creative about it. And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I've seen that too, and I'm just so I love it. I wish I had a little kid at home. There are times I'm like, oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, and actually, one thing that I love about what some of the art teachers have done too is really to connect their whole school community, with the rainbow projects or other projects where all of the students in a school and staff and faculty are sending in artwork that they're creating, and they're putting together videos so people feel connected even though we're not physically in buildings together.
Yes.
And then the performing arts teachers, it's been the same, unique challenges. Think of a band class where we typically have 100 kids playing together. Well,
Mhm.
there's no video platform that will allow for that because of the sound issues. So they've really had to kind of flip their thinking too, and maybe encourage students to delve into skills that maybe we wouldn't have had time to engage with if we were really focused on a performance.
Right.
So, really having students compose music, to improvise and work on these kind of higher level thinking skills. And the kids are just running with it. And the work that I'm seeing come in is really inspiring. So I just cannot say enough good things about what arts teachers are doing in, engaging with their students in creative ways and also bringing communities together.
I love it. And I agree. I've seen some of them just doing some like choir stuff like on Zoom. And I was like, oh my goodness, they're singing parts in Zoom. That's exciting. And then also another thing that I've seen is some of the students coming out and being writers of songs. That's a passion of mine. I write in a journal daily, and when I'm dealing with just a certain situation, I don't really want to spell names out in my journal in case anyone were to ever read it. I write a song. I like songwriting. I love the whole idea of the theory behind why it works, the hook, the chorus, all of it. And so rarely do I put those songs to chords, but I love the art of writing songs. And I've seen students coming out and saying stuff like, I didn't know I was a songwriter, but like in this time, it's easy to be inspired and start like, I've seen a lot of them posting stuff on Twitter. One of my students writes songs and they're beautiful. Like somebody should sing this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my people. And I think we wouldn't discover some of these skills and some of these talents of students and teachers, if we didn't have kind of this time, like you said, because we would be focused on some of the other performing parts as far as performing arts teachers.
Yeah, and I think one thing that this time is teaching all of us too is that the arts, are so important for lifting our spirits, for making us feel connected. Look at the concerts that have been happening live on Facebook and Instagram, and I was listening to a DJ on Instagram last night, D Nice, and
Mhm.
I was listening with 14,000 other people from around the world, and it's just. It really helps to not feel so isolated, and also art, music, visual arts, is so therapeutic. So as you said, kids are writing a lot and letting out these feelings and emotions in a really productive and healthy way.
So true. It's so true. I'm just excited about all the cool things that are coming out of this. I'm not, it's not downplaying the terrible things that are happening and the hardships that are happening, but it's enlightening to see the good in some of this for sure. So Christy, one of the things that a lot of people have been asking, and I see some of our principals in here today, and they're some of the ones that always say, I tune in because I'm hoping to get some ideas. So when you were a classroom teacher, or it could be something that you've done for other teachers, but what is it that made you feel appreciated that somebody did for you as a classroom teacher? And then maybe share, what are you thinking that you'll do for your teachers, the ones you serve, or that you've seen other people doing that lets others know that they are appreciated? Our time is kind of weird right now, so you can share like something that happened and it worked well in the school setting. But thinking about this remote learning kind of atmosphere that we are stuck in right now, how can we show those that we love and care so much for, that we appreciate them?
So I'm not a big fan of like the teacher appreciation, knick-knack or
Yeah.
something in the mailbox. I think personally what I always appreciate in any professional setting is to know that my ideas are being heard and to feel like my voice has an impact. So that's what I strive to do. with the educators that I work with too, we make decisions together, whether it's about the curriculum that we're developing, or what we'll focus on for our professional development that would be most meaningful to them. In this time, we're all certainly collaborating a lot, and I'm more of a sounding board and a co-collaborator, working on brainstorming if people need it, but my goal is just to make people feel supported in this time, and I think teachers need it more than ever, for sure.
Certainly. And I think you're so right. A lot of times it's just getting back to the basics. It's just letting people know overtly that we appreciate them, but also making sure, like you said, that they feel included and valued and their opinions are welcome as far as making decisions. And I think that's really important no matter what role we're in right now, just because no one has come out of a global pandemic successfully yet. So we need each other. We need each other's opinions. We need each other's brainstorming. And like you said, the performing arts and the visual arts teachers have been putting their heads together and getting creative about how they can serve their students. And I'm sure some of them have gotten ideas from each other. I'm like, hey, that works really well. Like, I want to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been so blown away by how people have been mentoring each other, within my department, and then what I've noticed just in general, online. And my teachers are teaching each other how to use Google Classroom and how to use different composition tools and everything. And it's just there's no ego, everybody's just in it together, and it's just been really touching.
Yeah, it's so fun. So I just thought of something. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it just came to me. What about one fun idea that might be fun is having, how sometimes offices will have these bands come in and they'll sing like a singing Valentine, those kinds of things. It might be kind of cute for students to find, if like parents are out there and they have singing students or students who love to sing, it doesn't really matter if they sing great or not, and they want to show their teacher they appreciate them, they could send them a little video of singing a song or singing a favorite song of their teacher or something like that. That would be really fun, and I think that would be memorable as a teacher to get like a singing gram from our kids.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's been happening too. Yeah. Kids are just reaching out because they miss their teachers. Mm-hmm. And whether it's a message or a drawing that they're sharing or a song, that's what people need right now. We need that connection, and it just means more than it ever has.
It's true. And you said, the arts are very therapeutic. So not only for the maker, the creator, the ones singing the song, but the ones receiving it too. I know I've enjoyed walking around Lawrence and seeing all the rainbows in the windows or the little hearts in the windows. And I'm like, oh, they're just so cute. Like everybody has them in the whole neighborhood. They have like the same whatever in their window. And I just think that's so fun. So Christy, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we part, I just want to have you share out. We've been telling everyone listening that we're just one big family. We're here for you. And if anyone wants to connect with you, what's the best way for them to connect with you on social media?
Well, I'm on Twitter at Christy Whittles. And I'm on all the socials. And there are actually links to all of those accounts on my website, which is ChristyWhittlesey.com.
And it's also linked in the comments. So if you're looking for that website, and then also her book is linked there too. Go check that out. It's amazing. It's definitely a book that will enlighten you and help you to better serve all your students, as Christy mentioned at the onset of this call. So Christy, thank you for joining us today. Thanks for being a part of our DBC family. We appreciate you, and we thank you for all the work that you do for teachers. So
thank you. I appreciate you too. And real quick before we go, I just want to let people know I'm putting resources for families and individuals who may be experiencing a difficult time as an LGBTQ student at home during this time. I'm going to put some free resources on the website in case anyone wants to explore those.
Fantastic. Look, I'm going to link it one more time in the comments, just in case people missed it at the earlier set of comments. So be sure y'all check that out. It's a powerful website. It's a wonderful book. And yeah, Christy's always putting new stuff out there. I just checked it out before I came on and I was so proud of all the new stuff.
Thanks.
There's a lot of new stuff since I came on here last time. So thank you for always updating and sharing everything that you have that's working for you and working for your teachers. So we really appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the teachers out there. We will be sure and link our special deals up in the top too. So thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be here again tomorrow at 10 a.m. with a new guest. So you should tune in. Christy, have a fantastic day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you, Tara.